Hey, hey, welcome back, Aries. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on and we're going to do a little storytelling here. And I wanted to start out with a message of grounding. We have spirit of air. As I say ground, we go right into the sky. But spirit of air can be, um, if our character needs to get grounded, it may be because they need to like open up that throat chakra. They may need to find the words, the ideas to express their words. Now, sometimes it's also to find, I'm challenged by this all the time, to find the wording that actually, like the vocabulary. It's hard when I do these storytellings and they're very, just immediate and it's improv style. I have one shot to get it right? Because it's improv, because this is it. It's whatever comes to my brain in the moment. And to try to grab the right vocabulary is really difficult. And so if a character needs space to find a way to convey what they really mean, I usually think writing stuff down is a really good way to explain what we really think and why we think it, but then leave it alone and then come back after 3 days and reread it and go, oh gosh, no, that's incomplete. That's not actually, in fact, I might even change my mind because I realize how, poorly formed my idea was. Actually, I can point the holes out in the way I was feeling that day. Maybe I was feeling some kind of way and it wasn't for the right reason. Maybe I was having a bad day. Maybe I was feeling like everybody is unkind, everybody hates me. And really, when I reread what I wrote and the evidence that I thought I was collecting that day to support the idea that everybody's, against me or everybody dislikes me, I'm realizing that was me having a moment. Sometimes when we go back and we look at things, we go, oh. Or by contrast, it can be, I don't know why I'm so bothered by this. Why do I have this inherent like, oh, I don't want that? Let me find my voice to explain why don't I like something, because that's really important too. And it is really hard to find the way to express an emotion, or at least I think I struggle with that. Um, Even as a writer writing without a pen, even as a fictional storyteller, I mean, the hardest thing is to find the vocabulary to actually concisely describe something. So we got this 3 of Cups. Now this could be a positive thing, grounding oneself, finding the words about, now in this case, this is fragile. Whatever this situation is fragile, because we got kittens and little broken eggshells bobbing along a stormy sea. So eggshells are always something fragile. Kittens in particular, fragile. All babies are fragile. We want to protect them inherently. We want to protect kittens. I want to reach in and scoop up those babies and get them out of the ocean. I hate that card because it gives me like my mother instincts come up. I'm like, oh, protect the babies. But this feels like, although this is positive, I would like to find vocabulary to describe how I feel about something that seems delicate. Queen of Pentacles. I want to bring something delicate and actually find a way to vocalize it. Now, this could be every time I'm around somebody, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells because I'm so worried that I'll say something that'll piss this person off. Or this could be that Aries is thinking about, what I'd like to do is figure out, are we enjoying each other's company because there's an attraction here? If I would like to turn this into something more, if I would like to offer something more to this person, or if I have a hint that they might like to offer that to me, something more serious, where we seem to not be connecting. We're giving each other mixed signals to a certain extent, and yet I don't want to crush this. This could be like the difficulty in saying, how do I explain to a friend that I'm attracted to them? Or am I picking up on the vibe that they're attracted to me, but we're friends and they don't know how to get over that hump of like expressing interest in me? Okay, then how do I broach the subject? How do I bring it to the table? Queen of Pentacles is really good at like grounding something. And like think about a Queen of Pentacles as somebody who invites somebody over for a picnic or tea or lunch, and come on over, I want to give you a lunch, I want to connect with you, and I want to gently like lay out my thoughts, lay my cards on the table. I almost feel like either Aries is trying to find the vocabulary to address something that someone either clearly wants a relationship with them, or maybe I should say not clear, but they think someone wants a relationship and is about to reveal that. Aries might be trying to figure out how to respond before this even comes to pass, because they do want it or they don't. I don't know yet. We don't have enough cards to know. Oh, we have a 10 of Pentacles, but we also have the Devil over here. But it's again with this huge sensitivity, that huge sensitivity on that. Because we have the energy of an octopus, and an octopus is such a sensitive vibe. I really think what's at stake here is this could be one level more complicated, where maybe this is somebody in the workplace where there's an attraction, or there's somebody where it's like we're friends, but we also, that Three of Cups can be an emotional bond. That's why I'm saying possibly attraction, possibly, interest. The Queen of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles suggest workplace or living location, abundance, a space where we should have stability, but we're on unsteady ground because there's emotions involved and possibly interest and desire. And it could be getting into a sticky situation because maybe there's a third party. That Three of Cups can be more than one person. It could even be that it's like, I'm trying to figure out, are they interested in me, but they're also interested in somebody else? If there's any energy of jealousy mixed in here, if any of this is possibly either jeopardizing, like, I'm not sure if I can move forward with somebody if I have a hint that they might be interested in somebody else. I keep feeling like this is a very specific story where if there is someone that Aries has not gotten something off the ground with, and the question mark of, is there someone else on the horizon for them? Or maybe this is three people who've been friends, but now there's some mixed emotions because, I'm not saying we have a lover's triangle just yet, but it almost is like, God, it's kind of starting to feel that way, just a smidge, because there's an element of like jealousy coming in where it's like, okay, anyway, we slice it, there could be some jealousy. Now, if we added it that it's like amongst roommates or it's in the workplace, that puts another layer of intensity on this. We just up the ante. We've got that star card coming in. Aquarius and Capricorn, by the way, coming into this story. There is a need to like heal stuff. There's also the need to say, okay, if I have a wish fulfillment and it is to maybe address the whole situation, because what I want is the best possible outcome. I don't want toxicity to get brewing and stewing. That is maybe why we have Aries trying to get themselves grounded by really thinking about, what is it that I would want to express? What words would I want to say? We have a 9 of Cups. Okay, this is a really difficult storyline to describe because everything is in the unspoken and the sensed but not revealed flow. It's almost like Aries wants to warn somebody. That person is super selfish, right? They're all about themselves. Like, I do want the best for you. Maybe I'm attracted to you too, but I have a hint that maybe you're dealing with someone. Aries might just be trying to give a good friend some gentle advice, but not really wanting to slander someone, but wanting a friend to know that the person that they're interested in might not be somebody with a terrific track record. It's like, oh, they're great as a friend, but he's super selfish. On the other hand, here I am, maybe the person who introduced these two to each other, and they're going to think I'm just being jealous. But in fact, it would be better if, hey, whoever wants to date whomever, it's up to everybody's individual, desires, right? But if we're talking about the workplace, if we're talking about, it's almost like Aries has some added information, but they don't know how to vocalize it. And it has to do with Aries and a situation with two other people. There is somebody in the mixture who seems to be very all about themselves, all about getting what they want. There is a vision that this is kind of toxic, and yet there is still a desire to get what everybody wants out of the situation. But what's at stake here is the stability of either the jobs involved or the living situation involved, or even the friendships. We can be friends with somebody that we'd never date. We can be attracted to somebody, but we know a lot more about their history. There's something in all of this where the toughest thing is, how is Aries going to say what needs to be said? How are they going to vocalize everything they need to vocalize? Let me just look a little closer with that spirit of air. What's the real thing that Aries wants to say if they didn't feel like they were fumbling for vocabulary? Seven of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Swords. I need to walk away from this. I need to level with somebody. I need to be truthful. I don't want to be in a state of confusion. So what would give me less confusion is to cut something or someone out of my life. I don't want to hang out with y'all anymore because I'm getting all confused. Maybe I have emotions for you, but you seem to have emotions for somebody that is super selfish, and I don't want to be in a third party, even though you didn't really express interest in me. But I don't want to have a fantasy relationship with you if you're attracted to somebody else who, by the way, might be super selfish. Or maybe I'm getting the idea that you're super selfish, and I don't want to pin my hopes on you if somehow subconsciously or insidiously, rather, I'm going to be ending up basically in a third party relationship, situationship in my own mind. 10 of Wands, 8 of Wands. And I just feel like Aries is like, I just want to go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid and just say how I feel about this. I just want to lay down the burden. Listen, I'm not going to hang out anymore because honestly, I got some emotions for you, and it's getting kind of confusing because it seems like you're interested in somebody else, and I'm not going to be the person who's like somehow getting jealous or whatever, however I was feeling. I don't want to get in my feels over this. If Aries were just going to bluntly say it, I think they want the stress of this situation off their shoulders, even if it means them needing to walk away from the whole thing. Now, let me ask this. Why would Aries even need to give an explanation? Sometimes we can just be busy. No, I'm not going to join you guys today. I'm busy. Let them go rafting together by themselves. If they're going to hook up, if they're going to start a relationship, it's like, okay, well then who am I to stand in the way? I don't want to try to be in the midst of it. When I say, why would Aries need to say anything at all? It says for clarity, and Aries might need to lay out the rules of the guidebook of, listen, I am attracted to you, but if you're attracted to somebody else, by all means, pursue what you need to, but I don't want to hang around with the two of you. Now, the reason for the clarity on that might be so that Aries doesn't give the false impression that they aren't interested in somebody if they actually are, and then miss their opportunity with somebody because the person's like, what do you mean? I thought you hated me. All of a sudden, you didn't even want to talk to me. What do you mean you thought I was into them? No, I wasn't, but you didn't want to be around me anymore. Rather than having confusion, this says for Aries to keep everything really clear. I trust me, I'm not pulling back because I don't like you. I'm pulling back because I do, but it feels uncomfortable. Like I don't want to be a third wheel or something if that's the person you want to pursue. So I just, need to clear that. I can see why that would make sense to just go ahead and admit the real reason for our actions, especially in a situation that is murky. What is their perspective? 10 of Cups, 2 of Wands. Okay, so there is this indecisive, unclear. Everybody on earth is looking for the 10 of Cups, right? We all want great happiness, but you notice how it's sketched, it's not filled in yet. And the 2 of Wands says, I don't know which road to take. So it does feel like there's this question mark of, I don't know what to do here because I can't either read Aries energy. I don't know what Aries is thinking. The one problem I see with that is if this person isn't clear on wanting to pursue things with Aries, if they're waiting for Aries to show them a sign, that may or may not be the way Aries would want the situation. It's like, look, if they're 50%, interested in somebody other than me, then maybe they're not my person anyway. But I don't know. This feels like this is one of those cringy like stories where we're like, everybody's got to figure out what it is they actually want. They got to try to, go for what it is that they want and be more authentic. Justice is here sideways. No, okay, so I do think that in this storyline, the only way for this particular intricacies, and of course every situation is vastly different, but for this fictional story, the only way to avoid doing anybody wrong, including oneself, is to always advocate for what we really want and what we really mean. Now that seems like, simple. Let's always walk around and say the stuff that we really mean. I really like you. I had this vibe that I thought you were interested in somebody else. I don't want to be put in competition, and I don't want to block you if you're obviously interested in somebody more than me. On the other hand, if you are interested in me and you're sure about that, then let's do this thing. I'm not trying to dodge you, but I don't want to be left in limbo if I've got it all wrong, if I'm reading your signals wrong, you know, set me straight. It just kind of feels like, how do I not do somebody wrong? How do I not do myself wrong? Maybe the best way is to say, well, my intention is not to assume things that aren't true. My intention is not to put expectations on people. My intention is, let's clear the air so I know where we stand, so then I can continue to be in your life. But now I know you're not interested in me. You want that other person. Cool. We can be friends. But let me not always be there while you're trying to get something started with them. I like you enough to say, pursue the person you want to be with. I can stay your friend and accept that you're not interested in me. But what I don't want is this weird no man's land where I don't understand what's going on. It kind of feels like that's the most, in this storyline, the most adult, straightforward way to handle it. So nobody gets bent out of shape. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody is left feeling subtly insulted and disrespected. Will that work, universe? Will clarity work? Queen of Pentacles. Remember, we already had the Queen of Pentacles. The bring it to the table, lay the cards on the table, get an answer. In this storyline, it says yes. Obviously, I don't give advice in my fictional stories. We only talk about it for the characters. In this storyline, yes, because Aries has come out as a Queen of Pentacles so far. The person who wants to lay cards on the table and offer, look, I'm awesome. I have a lot to offer. I was interested in you. I would like to offer my energy to you, but I didn't know if you're interested elsewhere. And if you are, that's okay. We can still stay friends. But I needed to get this off my chest so I can clearly define what vibes I'm picking up on, what vibes I need to let go of. I'm totally fine with that. And then depending on that person's response, if it turns out they're like, they show a side of themselves that just is super indulgent, super non-committal, then Aries might be like, oh, so turned off by this person. I would never date them, actually. But that's fine. We can be pals. But I don't have to feel jealous. I don't have to feel confused. I don't have to feel, insulted. Really, this is like the perfect world scenario where question marks and confusion just get cleared up by straight conversation, cowboy or cowgirl up to say what you really mean, what questions you really need answered. Just say it, own it, declare your interest, and then let somebody accept or reject it, and know that that's not a rejection of you. It's just, they may not be feeling the same vibe. I just think in this storyline, it says that they kind of think that they are feeling the same vibe, but they still aren't clear on things. And maybe it's just because this important conversation hasn't happened yet, but definitely clear up confusion is what this storyline is all centered on. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys again later. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I so appreciate my Aries watchers. Bye.